Hello and welcome to It's Just a Podcast, along with me, just Stephen, all on his own, without Carl and Paul. Today I'm going to do the podcast for One Crazy Summer, and I'm about to press play, and 3, 2, 1, boop! Hire the dog just ran up the stairs. Right, so I haven't done a solo podcast since Cuffs. I believe Cuffs was my last one. This one's been on the cards for a couple of weeks. I've been very busy at work. I've loved this movie since I was a kid. This is one thing in the UK, the era of VHS and the love of Police Academy. I've got a couple of videos to render in the background, but it shouldn't affect any of the noise here. So I've got the big box VHS in front of me, and I've longed for this to get a release. There's a couple of times I wanted to do a review for this. It starts off with some great animation here about love being blind and a very iconic rhino. Obviously it's a follow-up to Better Off Dead. So anyway, back to One Crazy Summer, big box, Warner Brothers release. John Cusack, Debbie Moore, Bobcat Goodworth. John Cusack is just an amazing actor. I think this is one of the first podcasts I've done of John Cusack's films. He has made some stinkers in the last couple of years, but he's made some iconic movies as well. I just remember this being cool as a kid because obviously Godzilla and Jaws are both referenced in it, and you know, it spoofs it on that, so that's really good. Last month, I was ranting on about Jaws on a Steelbook rant, and I said, look, One Crazy Summer needs to come out, and it actually did. It's been released in Blu-ray in America as part of the Archive collection. So it's never seen the light of day at DVD in the UK, and now it has a release in Blu-ray that works in the UK and comes along with an audio commentary from the cast and crew, which is very, very interesting. So this is the third time I've seen this movie in high definition. I watched it with Brit. She had some laugh out loud moments. Let's see, it gets a bit there. John Cusack narrating a bit. He pulls out a submachine gun. I really think this would be reclassified. I think that maybe is one of the biggest problems with the movie. It's a PG on big box VHS. It's a 12. You know, it's borderline PG-15 back in the day. You know what I mean? So it's you could see the film having a little bit of harsher cut. There you go. Whoop. The hoop and the basketballs. Learned a lot from the commentary, so I'll try and remember. But John Cusack is just absolutely class. High fidelity, 1408. He can really carry a movie on his own. Jeremy Piven's in there. There's a reference I never got to the comedy that the cat kills stuff and keeps trophies up. It's packed full of gags and stuff like that. So, again, if you want to watch this movie without me just waffling, I mean, there's just an image and artwork there. As you can see, you can pick it up on the Warner Bros. Collection within the UK. These are hot. I'm just waiting for there. Here we go. Graduation. The dead guy. I always thought the guy was knocked out, but no, on the commentary, like, the guy is definitely dead. I didn't realise this until the commentary track that is actually Bill Murray's brother in this, which is, you can kind of see it but then can't see it. He's unfortunately been missed. I mean, apparently he's done alright for himself. I couldn't tell you another film I've ever seen him in, but like, he's been missed from the original big box VHS artwork, and he's even missed from the new artwork on the Blu-ray, which is a massive smiling sun and another picture of the gang. So yeah, it's just both times he's been deleted from it. But yeah, there's a graduation happens here. I just need to quickly type away. Not pressing that, Stephen. Well done. But yeah, there you go. Book hitting the head, dead. It's fucking crazy. Me and the lads haven't done a podcast for a while because my phone's actually broken. Obviously, we do the podcast via the phone, so Jaws 2 has been on the cards for a while. But both me and Paul are back to work, so we're constantly being run out. We've only been back open a week tomorrow, so it's been like the last couple of weeks, it's been a bit crazy. Me and Carl are going to do more stuff like Van Damme movies. I think I want to do a lot more of random B movies and stuff like that. The problem with Carl is as well, Carl doesn't live too far away from me, but obviously Carl's expressed on his own podcasts is deaf, so Carl can't look at the screen and continue a conversation like he can with his headphones in. So we trialed it when he was last over at the house, and unfortunately, yeah, Carl, awesome guy, but yeah, it's one of those things. Never really got this joke. All these cars there, and someone's going to buy him a massive dumpster. That dumpster truck would probably cost more than all them lovely cars and ribbons. But again, there's a couple of bits where it is just a watch along movie, like, but there is a couple of bits where it really gets spoofy. Yeah. Use. There you go. Dun dun dun, the dog with the fleas. Creepy little kid. Sort of a problem child there. The lollipop lady. I mean, even look at the lollipop lady, man, drinking a can of beer and stuff like that. It's, you know, I always, you know, it's got some really good music cues, a couple of good jokes, but I just remember renting this, loving it, and it just fell in obscurity as well. Cabbage Patch Kid there. You have to have license for shit there. I mean, even in the background, if you look, she's got more cans stacked up, so she's clearly been on the high, like. I've got shitloads to do today. My plan is to be mastering while I'm doing stuff. The poor dog, flea collar on. Slap on the back. I was going to watch Better Off Dead before I actually did this podcast, because there is a couple of homages and little tie-in jokes, but it's weird because Better Off Dead has been released on Blu-ray in the UK. Very limited. As I say, like, it's weird that would happen. There you go. I always hope that this would get released on HMV's premium collection, because HMV deals a lot with Warner Brothers. So there's a couple of classic Warner Brothers titles have been released on that label. I love the joke as well, with the Christmas tree on top, that they always forgot to take the Christmas tree off, and there's just some weird shit. Cabbage Patch Kid dolls there as well. Fucking almost a borderline hearse that. I've got a black car, and I fucking, honest to God, makes a difference when you fucking give it a wash. Here we are, the introduction of Debbie Moore, Running Away, which I don't think that is Debbie Moore. That is definitely not Debbie Moore, Running Away. Keep your head down. I mean, that is quite a rustic fence. Into the lads' toilets. Like, yeah, she's a guitar. What kind of guitarist would not have a guitar in a fucking guitar case? There's a bit of ludicrous here as well, like the fact that the bad guy comes in with this cosmic big fucking mohawk. But again, it's the gag about there's a lot of, I mean, there again, he's called Hoops. He can't hit for shit, but when he needs to, he does. But yeah, oh man, imagine that, man, filling up your petrol. Like, I never got that, right? Like, even like in New Zealand and stuff, like, I've never seen a fucking car that, you know, the license plate comes down the house, the fucking gas thing. But like, being able to walk away, and like in England, right, every time you go to the petrol station, right, and you put like, you're always over, they always get you a 10 or 60, like, right, and next thing you know, it'll be like 16 pence over, and you're like, every fucking time. I drove back from Sheffield last weekend, and I just fucking, UK has gotten fucking crazy with fuel prices. Like, people filling up fucking canisters and all that. It's fucking crazy, man. But I would just love, like, walk up, press how much you want, put it in and wait. Do you know what I mean? Hey guys, you looking for this? I had a very early movie on for Debbie Moore, and he's just going to drive away and just destroy a fucking petrol station. Take out all the bikes. Apparently the producers were really like, can we not do that to the bikes? Bike damage, but I got reckless the man. Fucking gas canister still going with them. This is one of the most ludicrous things in the movie. I think it's just down to, like, either it's done deliberately or it's done as a, you know, the whole thing of the distance, and the I think it's something to do with the edit. I think it's like the shot beforehand, I don't think should go in there, because you can see the gap and you go, right, he's definitely not going to make that. And he does make that, and there is a nice little stunt fall, but it's just, yeah, here, that shot there, right, could the boat not be a little bit more closer? And you know it fine well, they're not going to make that. That one as well, it's just the alignment. I mean, that car is definitely just gone straight into the fucking pier. But again, that's just filmmaking, especially in the 80s. And look at him, man. A pretty good stunt, like, that would have fucking knocked. Just so fucking dangerous. And again, there's the gag, that's why he's got this pink thing. So you can hear that little humming, and I do apologise. It's the little computer. I haven't got the big one on at the moment. But yeah. See, even the shot there, like, it's just something with the distance. But as the lad said, it's just a movie. It is just a movie. Me and Paul, Ray and Britt went to see Hook at the Pictures, and we talked about doing a podcast with Hook. I says, I need some time. Like, I mean, I just watched Hook recently with Britt and the Pictures, and don't get us wrong, it was great to see it on the big screen and stuff like that, but man, that film felt like 20 minutes too long. It was middle of the day and I was suffering. Like, again, but the artwork is stood up so well. Hand animation, I think, just the colour, it's just so good. I've seen a few films recently. I watched Ferngully and another Christian Slater movie called Back to the Sea as part of the Christian Slater videos I did, and Back to the Sea just looked terrible. It was a weird hybrid with like just pissing on with animation and like CGI animation, and it didn't even look as good as them cell animations they got there. The guy at the back with a who has the line, does a stand-up with just lines. He appears in loads of movies and just has one line, and he's the one-line guy. See, again, I have done a bit of research. That's why I pushed to do it this morning, just look, get it out of the way, get it done. It's been months since me and the lads did the Indiana Jones series, and I believe the Indiana Jones series is just about to come out, and I'm like, need to get these more out, more relevant, but as I say, I'm very happy with people who follow us on these podcasts, although I do get quite a bit of grief when people think, oh, I was expecting to watch a whole fucking movie. Like, well, fucking buy the movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a podcast. It's audio podcast. You know what I mean? The guy who wanted a refund for his data on his phone was hilarious. I watched your video for 10 minutes before I realised it wasn't the film, and I'm like, and? Like, so yeah, here comes the one-line guy, as again, he can't hit the tune, hits him with a hot dog, and there's the kids again with the creepy faces, and yeah, it's all good in the hood. I mean, scary kids setting everyone away. Dun, dun, dun. Obviously a spoof on Jaws all over the place. Bobcat Goodworth, here he is. The guy is hilarious. I think everyone just thought he was like that in general, especially coming off the back end. He had a few other movies. He's went into directing a lot, and sometimes unrecognisable when he's playing it straight. His friend here as well, who's also in My Girl, he's unfortunately passed away, but during casting, they decided to make them twins. I know it just originally meant to be Bobcat on his own, but again, a lot of stuff was done improv. Once John Cusack was locked down, they had a bit of free reign, you know what I mean, because John Cusack was doing really well for the time. I mean, just look at him, 16 Candles and little support roles. You can see then he had potential and talent. He had just been Stand By Me as well, you know, a little short role on that. But yeah, there it is, Form 2, and a great spoof on Jaws. You wouldn't be carrying your guitar around. Get it in a fucking case. They have a spook, little bit of joy. It just totally looks like Martha's Vineyard or Amity Island. Fucking Bobcat, man. I remember watching a film by Bobcat. Was it Willow's Creek or something about Bigfoot? And I'll watch any kind of Bigfoot movie, but then it was just this woman with this fucking like that in the woods. Best Bigfoot film ever made that exists. You know what I mean? Because like everyone just seems to like, oh, to do a Bigfoot movie, it's got to be found footage. Well, not really. Has anyone ever seen the Bigfoot tapes? My God, I fell for that like a fucking, you know, like it's got a very similar cover to fucking Troll Hunter, and I watched it, and it was like watching a found footage film of Deliverance, and at the very end, you know, the guy, like Bigfoot walks past at the end. I was like, what the fuck? Like, if I just witnessed all that just for this black outline just walk past, oh, that's how they captured Bigfoot. Throwback's been on the cards to revisit for a while. That's been an ongoing joke for years in Lonely Tree Entertainment, the Throwback movie. Obviously I bought it on Blu-ray, dead cheap at the market, but I haven't even found the time. But Bobcat did it, as I say, did his own little Bigfoot movie, which was Willow Creek, I think it was called, and he did the same phenomenon. It seemed to be good to the end, where it was a bit of a, you know, a bit of a stinker at the end, to be honest with you. She's really pretty, and I think this guy's really good as well, playing the spoiled little brat kind of character, the bully thing. He wants some cookie dough. There's Jeremy Piven. He and John Cusack must be really good friends, as Jeremy Piven is, oh, I haven't even spilled my coffee, his best friend in Serendipity, which is a cracking Christmas film with John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale. That's a really good movie. And he's also in High Fidelity, Grosse Point Blank, which is another Steve Pink movie. I think that was a proper misfire. I haven't got my phone. I'll see what else the director's done. There might be some connection there, because Grosse Point Blank back in the day was so heavily advertised, and it was just kind of like, Brit watched it and she said like she felt like the movie was like sort of overhyped. Oh, there she is, Birdie, another Police Academy alumni. She has a very small role in this. She popped in and out of the Police Academy series for a while. Savage Steve Holland is the director's name. So yeah, he directed Better Off Dead. Let's have a look what else he directed. 44 movies. Malibu Rescue. So he's been directing Malibu Rescue for a while. Rufus 2. School of Rock. 45 episodes. Oh no, he directed one episode. Fuck me, he would have been working hard. He's just been literally in kids television for a long time. Legally Blondes, so picking up the twisted spin-offs. Great. I always thought he was a director there, you know, just such a weird cameo, smoking in the room, wired up there. I mean, I absolutely hate listening to the radio. So the guy did Better Off Dead, One Crazy Summer, then to be honest with you, never really had another big hit. I mean, he's spent a lot. I mean, he's been involved in Lizzie McGuire TV series. So don't get us wrong, the guy has worked and worked and worked, but has found himself kids TV, which again it works. You know, he does have that very natural, great coverage, great eye for casting, great jokes, and it would transition well into kids films. So yeah, but yeah. I think what was I saying before that? I mean, even that was shot there. Yak's about to appear as well. This guy's appeared as well. His son has appeared in a few of his movies. He's also on the audio commentary as well. Yeah, but Grosse Point Blank, even with Dan Aykroyd was in it, just felt like a little bit of a stinger. But John Cusack, although he's made some great movies, has made some right stinkers, mind. He's been, but he's an amazing actor. Me and Britt watched Frozen Ground a lot long ago, and he really played on the dark side of it. Why the fuck, right? I mean, John Cusack was the perfect cast for Hot Tub Time Machine, right? But why the fuck he was missing from the sequel? And even when they had filmed an alternative ending, like they could have had so much fun with Hot Tub Time Machine. But yeah, why the fuck he was missing from the final bit in Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is fucking crazy. It's almost like Burt Gummer in it. This guy, Michael Gloss. I mean, just ludicrous, like there's the beach, do the test bombing. I don't understand though, would the shells be all the way over there? Would the shells not stay with the... Pretty big scene. Like obviously, yeah, the shells would stay in the fucking gun and come out, wouldn't they? So, unless, like, I don't know. You can, as the guys say, it's just a podcast. Trying to get the lads down for Jaws 2, because obviously everyone wants to, like, I think Jaws 2 is like, because it's an underrated sequel. You know, I mean, Jaws 2 had a brilliant comedy track that had a brilliant making of on the DVD, and we were all prepped to go, but just haven't had the time to do it. God, I wish we had beaches like this. There's another spoof to Jaws here. Their body, it's just a doll. By this point though, Jaws is in pop culture. You know, but this is, you know what I mean? It's spoofing it before now. I mean, now it would be like, oh yeah, it's a Jaws reference. But then back then it was just, you know, spoofs were starting to come along on mainstream. But like you listen to a lot of I think what the comedy I was listening to recently, I've spent about the last week listening to the Prometheus comedy into that. It might even be in this, and they're on about like clearances to stuff like that, and you think, fucking hell, man. There's so much legal goes on behind making a movie. It's just mental, and it's some of the things you just can't bother with. This bit here, man, backing up at the funeral, like you would be able to get parked there. For the love of God. Little bit of an homage story to Blackbeard's ghost as well, like the idea that she's trying to save the house for all the people. This guy's fucking sadistic. I've never ever had lobster, and I don't agree with the way lobster's cooked. I think it's absolutely barbaric, but again, it's just setting him up. But he can't be much older than his son. Just sinister, isn't it? Swim armbands. I tell you what, I've totally missed swimming. It's been, I think this local swim baths is meant to open, and it's been criticised to fuck because it's a new swim baths that's had so many problems. But oh my god, just like finding the nicest, easiest way to stretch out your back and all that. But you couldn't have a pool out in Britain, like an outdoor pool. I can hear Hira. Just creeping up. Hi, Daddy. Hi, Daddy. Looks like the guy from Mouse Hunt. Hira's just past it. Yeah, I think like again the guy playing the bully, Todd, is it? I think he's great. I think sometimes people are like, oh, it'd be hard to act like that, because sometimes you get people who are completely opposite it, but sometimes that's the way it works, you know what I mean? Because you can say to somebody, act like yourself, and they'll be like, what do you mean? But then you like, when you say like, oh, act like that, and you see it from a different perspective, it sets up the Godzilla skit later on. I think that's something that's really, you know, like it's studying. I mean, recently I had to act in Sheffield, and in typical my fashion, I wasn't like, we were in this cafe, and we had all the grass and like the fucking, it looked like a scene from Jurassic Park. It was an indoor thing as well, so it was really weird, like a garden area, and there was people sitting around us who weren't part of the production, and I was just sitting there, and when it was my turn for filming, I was getting run through the motions. I had Theo on the side giving us like, right, look left, look right, look interested, look curious, and reacting. Like, I kind of hated my first reaction when I was like, get in, because it's just a typical northern thing to do, but like I wasn't expecting him to that motion. But the thing what, you know, like I had a coffee, and I was just about drinking a coffee there, like I said that, like I had this cup of coffee and I had to keep drinking it, and you know, again, you're like, now you're trying to like the fucking coffee cup's empty, but it was like a latte. And the next time when I was like, oh, like react good, I squeezed the coffee cup, and the coffee cup top came off, and fluff and foam went everywhere. Covered Roxy, the director, as well. Fucking, I mean, I haven't seen the raw footage of it yet. I mean, it was filmed in 4K as well, so it probably does look great. But like, there's loads of just like, you know, like stories that get lost. Because Theo is the director of Unit 11, and me and Theo were talking on the night time about Unit 11, because I had just recently revisited it, and we were talking about some of the things I liked about it, and he was like, oh yeah, like, well, that's it, you know what I mean? He didn't keep much of the raw footage and all that, and you kind of look back at these movies and you go, why like, I'm just an example of this, where why the fuck is there no making of and all that, and where's the deleted scenes, and like, it just may have not been preserved, it may have not been, you know what I mean? There's lots of stuff like that where you think, how the fuck? And like, one of the ones, Hook, going back to the Hook story, is Debbie Moore gets on top of the boat there. Like, you look on, is it Yesterland or Yesteryears on YouTube, who do like these really good documentaries, and you think, fuck me, you get Hook and has just got the trailer, and like, this guy's done this whole behind the scenes And you think, where the fuck did all that end up? And like, again, it's just one of these things where, you know, Arrow seem to do a great job of it, but then some people just, again, this looks great on Blu-ray, and it's just the kind of preservation, I think. Well, that rant went well weird, didn't it? You know, but back to animation again. The hand coming down in there, and they're like, I'm looking at this on the screen, and that looks like it was done now. You know, there's something about like hand drawn shit, man. It's just so good. I recently watched the Frankenstein Complex. It's actually the DVD underneath the VHS of that. It's a great documentary if you've never seen it, and it's all about creating monsters, and it's got the who's who. It's got Rob Bottin in it, but it's got everyone else. He was the who's who, and it shows you creations, and it's such a great insight into creature making and stuff like that, and filmmaking, and you know, there's something different about something physically being there and something physically fixing it with CGI. I'm recently watching Gemini Man. It's another film I've picked up at work and watch it. And don't get us wrong, I mean, I'm enjoying it, but there's bits where the CGI kind of takes you out of it, and I've actually done this before, and it's so dangerous because of this movie. You know, the whole thing, you, like the succession, like not quicksand, but like you could easily fall and dislocate your knees. But it's a bit where he goes whoop and tries to jump, and like you could easily pop your fucking kneecaps out with that. Back to his crazy ass uncle. Oh, that's a grim bath, like. I back to radios. I hate radio. I really do. And I recently was listening to the radio at work, because we had workmen in. And just, oh my god, just the adverts and negativity. I find a lot of negativity, but like, you've got to... I think it's blowing out the fucking thing here, doesn't he? I always thought he was the director. I just thought it would make perfect sense. Fucking mullet. I am getting a little bit, I mean, it's very early in the morning, so I waffled on about a few different things. I mean, that's a fucking, look at that, man. Corkscrew twist. Bobcat's work. This is a great little thing here. The kid goes up flying. I mean, Christ, buried up in your neck and sand like that. They like ribbed him a lot on this, saying that Bill was here, his brother, and I don't think Bill Murray would have a cameo on this. Could be just one of the extras in the background, but yeah. Fucking kid flying off there. Oosh! Oh, fucking dog. I'm gonna pee on him. I think that part of the cut down, like the whole, like there's no like he's buried in there and then he passes out the sunshade or whatever, but like the fact that like you don't really hear the fart sounds or like the joke with the chilies. Like, you know, that's just the big guy sitting on top of it, and like, look at Jesus Christ. I mean, it appears behind John Cusack's head like just clear like thong. It does look quite overcast that day, like. It looks great on Blu-ray. It does. It's one of them American cases. It's very slim. Slim box. Not recycled in the centre. No age rating on. As I say, like a guy posted on Instagram that it was available, and Casper ordered it for us, but it was like 25 quid. But like, it 25 quid, and that's posted. But it's like the import charges on certain sellers on eBay. This guy was in England, so he's obviously bought a batch. I always laughed at that. The little kid is like with the fucking "arr" effect. It's just like "arr." But it's the reason I never got cuffs for. When cuffs got released on Blu-ray, it was going to cost us like 50-60 quid. Do you know what I mean? And 60 quid, bear in mind, if Royal Mail just screwed us over with the thing. This reminded me as well, I need to post my brother a t-shirt in New Zealand. That's because I've got to do a fucking There you go. Like Dennis Nedry kind of character. I mean, imagine that. Just walk along and I sit in this guy's seat and just eats this guy's food. And she has zero fucking care about her pants. Just leave me pants. And me bra top. Room for one more. Anywhere. He's fucking class, John Cusack, but like he has done some shit. It's like went through a stage recently wearing a black cap. Like there's one called Adult World. Is it Adult World? It's like really good. Fuck me, man! What a slob. I mean, Christ. It's just like, it's not leaving out the imagination, like, with at least crotch. I mean, who the fuck has chili corned beef that size? I mean, it's just... Bobcat sort of kind of disappeared. Like, there's a one with the horse, isn't there? A couple of police academies this, but then just sort of just disappeared a bit. But again, he's in Blow. In like, I've seen Blow a couple of times. He's almost unrecognisable when he speaks in his normal voice. You know what I mean? People there, corn dog. Two fucking fighting. When I lie to you. It's a nice house. Again, the house just looks like perfect setting. Got a very New Zealand vibe. Some of them houses, especially Welton, built into the space. I mean, over in England, it's crazy when I look at my bedroom window because I can see miles and miles and miles of just fucking land. And there's no houses, and then you look over and like they'll knock down a building and put 10 houses, and you go past it and you think, fuck me, man. Like, the houses are so narrow, and like you look at the prices and you think, fucking hell. Look at, they can fucking invoice £15. I mean, don't get us wrong, $15. I mean, he's got fucking free cakes. He's got a cake. Pies he had. But I just... Other countries you see, man, just like... Edinburgh is a perfect example of a city built on top of a city, and Durham's really bad for it as well. Well, they don't expand out because of farm heritage or whatever like that, but like... that could clearly be Quint going out of Jaws in the background there as well, so that's obviously like a real location. But yeah, it's just kind of like, you get New Zealand and stuff and you see this vastness between places, but in England, it's like, just building on top of buildings, man. It's just fucking ludicrous sometimes. I got a friend called Ian, and he'd said to me, he says, they're meant to be building 2 houses out the back of the land. And there was a street of houses, and at the back there was a house, but then had a big yard. And there used to be a garage, and he says, they're going to knock it down and build 2 houses there. I went, fuck off, really. And then they did, and it's just like, literally, like someone just dropped 2 houses, and it's just like he's went from having a view out the back to like, there's a brick wall, and you think, fuck me, man. It's the best thing about my house, like I wake up in the morning, look out my window, no one's ever blocking that view. You can see right into Mitch's fucking bedroom, miles away. Back to the animation. And again, he comes with a bit of another Godzilla foreshadowing reference in it. He's just been an advert this morning for Wagamama. Kind of looks like that creature. It's just great animation. But then like it's just great, and I love that, transition between there and like even like his hands moving. So he does have very similar characteristics of Bill Murray. Are you you ready for me? I just been here. Hey, do you want a lift? You know clearly well she's had to get soaked there. Venomous. Form 2, and here comes Bobcat back. Mondo Pictures. Form 2. Portaloos in the background. There's a bit of a weird fucking head behind him as well. Oh, I mean, you know, it's Warner Bros, so it's kind of joking on that, but then you got like the Godzilla Toho. It's clearly like a Godzilla suit, and they even use the music as well, so. Remember being in the prop once in Bulgaria, and I was just like, none of that. It was just all clothes and stuff like that. That's definitely got to be put in on top, like. He's with Cookie. Never really got that like with the cinema though. Obviously, your speakers come in the car and all that, but like, again, American cars are that wider, that the fact that she can actually reach across there in England, you're like, right, gear stick, handbrake. I couldn't even sit in the car and watch a fucking movie. Just get out and fucking wash your windows and shit like that. I love how he gets up the other side of the car as well, which pretty much makes no sense. Oh, she's in a Jeep as well. So there's the speaker. Can you turn that up a bit? Jeremy Piven's been in loads of films. Plays a great dick. He's a great dickhead, and like has very bad things with Christian Slater and the washed out guy in Smoking Aces. Again, it's a Godzilla suit, but again, it's kind of like not authentic to Godzilla. Like the teeth are like definitely wrong. Oh, Drew drop in. There's the ball for later on. I've definitely been framed well, because that is a fucking stunning picture in picture, isn't it? Great thing though, like. Getting in a place like that would be cool, right? Park up, hang out, watch a film, or wander around. But again, there's no worse going to the pictures and like someone's on the phone, someone in nachos. Brit was like, you need a suit like that. I mean, the clock's definitely wrong to that shot. The clown mask there as well. I just think it's hilarious that it is Bobcat in that suit. Again, as a kid, I was like, right, massive Godzilla fan. And that's just a bitchin's Godzilla suit. There's a guy called, well, he's called Milo in Last Boy Scout. I think he's died. He's in Biodome. Pops up in quite a few things. He's in Double Switch, the video game, with Corey Haim as well. He's great comedy, like, for spoofs and all that, but like he's a very nasty bastard in Last Boy Scout, like. But yeah, he's been a few memorable films like. That double switch game of Corey Haim. Like, I was getting there. It's just so hard. I mean, how medicine's that? Kid's evil. Just generally evil. Bless her. Very early, I mean, you briefly see Demi Moore in the odd bits and bobs these days. Massive in the 90s, wasn't she though? Like Striptease, G.I. Jane, A Few Good Men was a great start of the year for her, and that. Obviously married to Bruce Willis for Time. Ghost. This is an early one, like fucking cigarette and cigar in his mouth. The guy there, he's in cuffs. The Chinese guy. Obviously he jokes on. It's a great spoof to Godzilla, like. Very short movie. I think we're only in for like the 90. Let's have a look. 93 minutes on Blu-ray. And 90 minutes on VHS. So maybe slightly uncut. I recently got a license to drive. A license to drive again. Say for example, license to drive's a PG over here. The license to drive on its very limited release in the UK and DVDs are 12. And I recently got the Daddy's Cadillac from Germany. Comes in a nice digibox, bit like the Cuffs one. And there's so many F-bombs in it. I was like, what? So yeah. I love it how Jack Daniels looks the only legit bottle on there. Vladka. I mean, that's the only black lady we've seen in the movie so far, and she happens to be a maid. I mean, that's a bit, oh. Angriness. Oh God, that phone got smashed. There he is, the old man. I think he, not to know what he was, but I'm going to have to look at him because I'm sure he's an Academy Award winning actor who just did this just for the crack. And there we go. Godzilla kicks in. Everyone starts losing this shit. Joel Murray has aged really well. Comes into IMDb. There you go. Butker Goodworth, Egg. Curtis Armstrong, he's been on loads. So anyway, the guy at the start is Sloth with the hair. So there's something I didn't know. From the Goonies. Let's tell by his profile picture there. So that's a very interesting one. Matt Mullen, who plays Teddy, he's aged really well. Jeremy Piven is obviously, he's known for having his hair done. It must be Beckerstead, so I'm looking for Beckerstead. William Hackney, old man Beckerstead. So, oh, he's in Nightmare Before Christmas. Yep, he's the old guy in Mouse Hunt. Fucking knew it. Taylor Negroy is the guy who unfortunately died. Yeah, he died at 57, known for Last Boy Scout, Biodome, Angels in the Outfield. So yeah, that's who I was on about there. Donald Lee is the actor who... Oh my god, so he's in Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah, it's got like a bit of a who's who of cast, like. Got the old campfire story, which is just overblown, scare the shit out of the kids. Kids look petrified. I was watching Land of the Lost, and that had quite an extensive making of, and it shows you behind the scenes, and like this Will Ferrell's trying to act and all the kids are laughing, and this kid, no kids, it's not funny to use, please don't react, and it's just like yak. It's one of those things, isn't it? Dun. Totally Bert Gummer kind of character. Before Bert Gummer. Yeah. Going up for a bit of nookie. Love this skit. Fucking, you know what I mean? Conflict. Again, that's probably why the guy's done so well, like kid kind of things, because that's so fast paced. Like, whip down the hill, what happened? And then the next thing you know, he's mummified. He's running around like a mummy. Did he just fucking eat a fucking lollipop stick? Evil little punk. She's not really trustworthy. Look at him just going along his little bike. Jesus! Chased by the Boy Scouts. And then the Boy Scouts are being chased by Godzilla. And they all combined here, the Drew drop in. I mean, that's great, like, coordination and assembly without mobile phones. But obviously, they have a good rant on the audio commentary about this, that the fact that he takes out the light bulb and starts bouncing the light bulb is that, but it's just all like, you know, like creative activity, like it could have been swapped for a basketball, you know. No, it's because, again, totally should be released. It's just dead weird. It's weird because it's Warner Brothers. I often talk about this with a lot of customers I talk to, and like they talk about these films that it's not available. And I'll always say this: First Independent is a cracking example of distribution problems. You know, First Independent were juggernauts in VHS and like the early to mid 90s. I mean, again, they endorsed a lot of money into Corey and Corey Feldman movies, but they also did stuff like Dumb and Dumber and Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat obviously has been bought up with the rights to Warner Brothers, so when you see it distributed now, it's through the Warner Brothers label. But Dumb and Dumber is a very hard to get brand new in-store film. It has seen a later day on Blu-ray, but it's been a while since I've seen it. And that was on First Independent. There's a couple of really quirky ones, but like First Independent disappeared. Warner Brothers, this one's just sort of like, it does have the cult following. Again, if you look at New Jack City, that came out on the HMV label. I always thought like stuff like Young Guns 2 is another one that, you know, it's been released on DVD but not seen the release on Blu-ray, but the first one's out on Blu-ray. So you know what I mean, people go, oh, I've got Young Guns 1, I want Young Guns 2. And it's just weird, like Warner Brothers are a bit of a weird franchise, the company. Obviously they're still standing strong against the juggernaut of Disney. but the archive, it's kind of like they were the guys, like they were like the top one, because Disney wasn't Disney in the 80s. Like, it had its animations, and yes, it does have it, you know, started buying up like stuff like Hollywood Pictures and Touchstone Pictures. I mean, Touchstone did some great movies, but like Warner Brothers, you know, like did some good movies, but they're not warranted. It was more of a sequel thing. I talked about this recently. Like, Lethal Weapon's probably the one that comes to mind where you go, right, there's a franchise. But you know, I was talking about the Lost Boys and how, like, you know, Warner Brothers have done sequels, but they're happy to do the straight to DVD releases and, you know, like cheap cash-ins, like recast actors, kind of stuff like that. So yeah, just me little rant as the guys all run off. He's torn between Debbie Moore and Cookie. I like John Cusack movies where he's had a hand in writing, but like if you look at High Fidelity, I think it's probably his best film. But John Cusack can just turn up and deliver, because he has been in some straight like films. It's not Serenity, but it's close to Serenity. That was a right stinker. I don't think there's anything wrong with 2012 Cusack's side. I think just Roland Emmerich's has just been done as the end of the world disaster guy. So Cusack's comeback was kind of like that, but he's been a constant and constantly works. He does deliver, but he seems to have started taking paychecks. Like Southern Fury seems to be a paycheck. Reclaim. But then you got stuff like The Factory, which wasn't not a bad film. Oh, he's off. But Grifters, I didn't enjoy Grifters with him in. There you go, old school like typewriter font. It's fucking crazy here. So this morning, right, one reason I'm sitting down for a podcast is I've been limping for about 3 weeks, and everyone's starting to notice I'm starting to limp a little bit more, right? And I want to blame the dog, Hyra, because I stood on her bone in the dark. Because, I mean, she hasn't got a bone at the moment, but normally you hear it bounce down the steps, it hits the laminate floor, and it slides, and it's such a fucking boom. So anyway, I've been limping around. Hey, there's the dolphin there. That's just creepy as shit. I mean, that looks like it's made out of solid plastic. I mean, does that still exist? That'd be awesome. But yeah, I've been limping around. The fucking pyramid. That's just fucking class. Yeah, limping around, and it's been getting worse. And then Hyra chewed my shoes, right? So I had a pair of shoes while we were building the shop, and I've had them. Have you ever seen the action figure of me? I was actually wearing these shoes on this action figure. You can tell by the laces, and they're my toe is finally poking out. My toes finally started to poke out, so I was like, right, I'm going to wear my new Skechers. I've had about 6 months, and fucking Hyra chewed them, so I was like, right, get me picture taken for the paper. So I was like, right, I need some new shoes. So I literally just pissed off to Primark to get some new shoes, like literally like they'll do size 11, wore them over the weekend, and they were sort of like, look like Converse, but they weren't. So and I, honestly, God, by Sunday I was not limping, and it's got really bad. And I went out on Wednesday, as we get back to the argument again with the people. I went out Wednesday and got myself a pair of Pumas, some nice ones, you know what I mean. You've got to spend your money on your shoes, you know what I mean, the right way. And have had them on for about 2-3 days now. Again, driving, getting used to these shoes. And this, like yesterday, my mum's just got back from holiday, and I says, look, do you mind coming and have a look at my foot? Because I can't see the bottom of my foot. And Brit's had a look at it. I was like, right. And mum was like, oh, it's a keen. And I was like, feels more than a keen. I know it dry skin, but like, oh, don't worry about it. And like last night, it started to really irritate us. It wasn't too bad with his new pair of shoes. And then this morning, obviously I'm walking around the house with bare feet. And obviously I've got land on the floor downstairs. And I just looked, and like there was literally like a thumb poking out the side of my foot, like of skin. I was going, That's not a fucking keen. And it was spongy, right? And Brit was in the shower. And I just sat down and I had my foot on the floor. And then I put my foot on the table. And I was sort of squeezing, like this squeezing. And literally I just went, with a pin. Just to test it. And honestly, orange gunk came out. And I was shouting Brit. She couldn't hear us in the shower. And we just squeezed. And honestly, it's pussed so much. Like, all out, clean, and my foot feels amazing. I probably got like a second batch like you normally do, but that's my foot story. As I say, I fucking told everyone, but I've been proper limping. Quite a flattering picture here, bellowing like that. When I lie to you. Old school dating, like. Blue track. I love it how people know what's on there. Even that there, like he's got his pants down. Where's he been for a wank? It's just them subtle little like jokes there. But we're gearing up to the very the end of the movie here. As I say, they have the concert, they buy it out, so the boat race is the next. That is definitely the last shot of the movie. Just quickly pushed in there as it's on about the winner of the race there, setting up with the pills and stuff. Look at that, man. I mean, you can see he's got the bazooka in the background and all that. Pull his hair out and stuff like that. So when they play the radio, hear this snippet, it's like... Fucking hell, they look like real lobsters. I can feel my toe, my foot. Feel it's still stinging a bit, like, but it's definitely been something in this. It's almost as good as my hand story. Check that video on YouTube. The problem is though, I was downstairs and like my phone again, talking about my phone not working right. So I've been really like, there's my phone, just leave it places, like, and then the camera's upstairs, and when my fucking puss was coming out my foot, I couldn't get the camera. I was shouting for Brit, but she didn't hear us. I had to eventually wipe it off. The whole bullying thing. So obviously sets it all up for the chainsaw attack, which I believe the chainsaw thing comes from one of his comedy skits. Still one of the best things I've heard, because I followed Bodcat for a while, and one of the funniest things he said, he says he's on about like how his mum, his daughter, had came in and said, "Dad, someone's on Facebook pretending to be you to try and get laid." He was like, "Good luck." He's on the comedy track as well, and like, you know, passionate about like filmmaking and stuff like that. And there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of things going on. It's not just like the film editor, it's all the politics, man. It just, one of the reasons why I burnt out my passion a while back, it's just kind of like, as a career, like, you want to make a living off it, you're going to have to start like, you putting the hours in and doing, like, if you do a music video for a band and they want it this way and that way, and like, as a creator, you're like, I don't want to do it that way, and then you go like, well, it's our video, and it's well, it's kind of a collaboration. That's what, like, that's always what I've meant to be. Like when I first started working with bands, it's a collaboration, and I'm happy with the circle I've got of bands now. Where if I want to do something interesting or I need music, that's it. But like, I have had, I'm not talking ill-minded about any of the bands I've worked with, but like, you get to the point where like the creativity's gone, or like alternatives gone, or like, even at that level, but when you get to bigger films where you've got above and beyond, and like, it comes down to money, and it comes down to politics, and it comes down to like when you don't have full control, that's when it becomes quite frustrating. One of my favourite videos is my Assassin video, where, you know, you just have fun with it and you utilise your resources. I was talking to Theo about Unit 11, and you just like, they're on about jumping fences, and you get a group of people who want to make a movie the best they can, and like that's where you get skill and talent. Do you know what I mean? And like, because people are wanting to do it for the fun. Are we going to get a binocular effect? No, we're not. We do not get a binocular effect there. But yeah, this just looks like a lot of fun back in the day. I mean, it's ludicrous. Can you imagine now, like, someone was on top of the roof with a bazooka and blew up a lobster thing, and just like be fucking all over the news, man, where he blows up a fucking little boat, like lobster log restaurants. Craziness, man. Craziness. Go and just put them like, God, they have got like black maids. I mean, you would notice that many lobsters in your swimming pool. I mean, it's a cosmic blue swimming pool. I love this. She just gets literally shouted right in her ear. Did he dive properly, or did he just sort of heel over? Big kisses. Face plant. Again, he comes to. If you listen to the Jaws tempo here, though, it's sort of, you can tell it's Jaws, but you can't exactly. It's obviously not Jaws because of copyrighted, I'll imagine. So, hello, I'm back. To be honest with you, right, I've just had a quick toilet break and got a new cup of coffee. I've been meaning to, when I do solos, to time yourself and have a break. Yeah, meant to anyway. If you survive this long, listen to me. I know a lot of people listen to me travelling and walking around and stuff, so yeah. Random, eh? Right, so the place is rocking. The maids are now the backup dancers by the looks of it, and backup singers. Everyone's just boogieing out a bit. Screams ski patrol as well. Band. I mean, they've probably dazzed it up, like. It's hard to have a regular, I think, place that puts bands on. You can have that one night a week and then do you keep it open? I think, to me personally, with the bars over in England, it's like, you can't. I think a bar's got to be open all the time. You know, it's a place you go. You know what I mean? This woman singing is just deadpan the camera, like. Because the amount of times in the area we live in, I remember like me and Barney would, like, when this bar had opened, and we're like, oh, we're going along there for a beer, and you walk halfway along concert and you get there and it's shut, and you think, well, why the fuck's it not open? And it's just like, oh, well, it wasn't busy. I'm like, you're still like, it's just like, right, you're gonna make that commitment to walk all the way along there and you're shut. She's still staring at the camera. Fucking hell. Gone absolutely wild, him. Fuck me, that coffee is way hot. That hairdo. He's got fucking eyeball by that extra. To be honest with you, the footage I'm rendering in the background, which is approximately 53 minutes, is the Union. We're talking about putting the bands on, and that's Castro, which is Yannick Dusty and the one and only Matthew Connor. Then me on the microphone. Then Ink playing. And then we end up at Barney's house and that's approximately 2009. And they were eras where we'd have bands on every Friday night, and it takes weeks. You can start off by having a good band on, but people are like, right, not going to go, but it's all advertisement. But look at the dog in the wheelchair, man. But then they buy the mortgage anyway. Like, aye, it's a great shot. That so much in that fucking shot. There's a lot of stuff definitely being filmed just in the locations. But see, that's good. Like back then, like now it's extremely hard to take over a small town and get people involved. I mean, it works all right with maybe small independent TV shows and stuff like that, but like film wise, we always talk about Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, where Sycamore Gap's like 40 minutes away from here in a car on a good run, and you see them getting off at the White Cliffs of Dover, Sycamore Gap, heading towards like that. That's just like different parts of all over the fucking country, and it's meant to be this 5-mile walk. Do you know what I mean? But they bought the town. Kicks the dog. It's fucking brutal, lad. That's what made Brittany cry. The dog pushing the cat in the wheelchair. Bobcat's face, he's just like, what the fuck's going on here? I think it's Brit was on about one of her friends, like insurance on dogs. I mean, we got higher insured, but like vet bills, it's just like in America, we have the NHS and stuff like that, which you pay into it all your life. In America, like that risk in it for the medical stuff, it's kind of like, I think if England had that, it'd make people wake up a little bit. Like Jesus, the fucking vet bills. You got Rocky and Bullwinkle fucking top on. So get for the plan of the regatta. Similar to Ski Patrol, where they'll have that massive sing-along. Yak yak. Yeah, we're about to have the 80s montage into the last run. See, not a lot of people have really heard of this. Casper knows exactly what I'm on about because Casper bought one as well. But excuse me with the chair. And there's the boat from the start of the movie. I mean, clearly that would just rot, wouldn't it? I like how the lights are going on the Christmas tree in the back. The boat. This has got to be a one-take job. Just flat up fucking like going around flat up. Oh wait, hang on, they're not stealing that because that's on top of their garage, aren't they? Blueprints drawn up for a boat. A good montage is now like literally, a vlog in it. If someone vlogged and just put the random clips of vlogging in there, and like you know, like, oh, what you doing? Well, just do it for like the picture, you know what I mean? So you get some natural stuff, but then you get people in the natural habitat, and that's how you get a great. But it's a bit of a thing back then to be rolling a big camera in wasting film. So then sometimes, you know, montages feel a bit too fake. I mean, this one's all right, but like the modern era of vlogging. I mean, that would have been a really great bonding of the actors to get this going. There you go, great shot. Set up the hoop for later on. Yeah, it really powers home after this, no pun intended, the boat. There you go, the little bottle of air. Again, victim to the boat again. I mean, it's almost a double whacker, isn't it? The fact that he puts his hand through the boat and then she puts a hand through the boat. It's like the same joke, isn't it? I mean, she's definitely been told to hit a specific area. And it just leaves a hand there and it's just like, ah! Fucking Bobcat totally reminds me of Chambers. He's a glitch if you watch the horns between the takes here. On the front. On the back. He's got the helmet the wrong way around. Very sinister look by Debbie Moore there. You've got that helmet on the wrong way around. Coca-Cola Classic. Oh, and he's about to make his move. Fucking that's an impending sky of darkness coming up. There is some nice little like sea town resorts, Windermere, and you know, like when you get to Scotland, you get up to Whithorn and stuff like that. But never anything you just stroll out to, you know. And when you get I think, is it Whithorn, where it's just like, right, you have to have a pass to get past. You can't just walk up to random boats, which makes sense. You can't just go and randomly bang somebody in someone's boat, can you? There's the Michelin Man, Goodyear tyres. Typical garage in the 80s. No fucking health and safety needed. And here comes the car. It's about to meet the chainsaw. Even though he's playing this wild man he plays, like, there's so much vulnerability in, like, there's so much rage going on there, but like so much like primal instinct. He doesn't know. A lot of people like don't give him enough credit for how good of an actor he is. Fucking facial expressions. I'm just gonna have a look to see what else he's really directed. Sorry about the chair. You wouldn't think it was a new fucking chair, but there we go. He was in Scrooged. There's a link to Bill Murray to his brother Joel in this. I'm going to probably watch Scrooge this year. He's been in 108 movies, Bobcat. Bob's Burgers, he's been voicing in that. Henchman. As they're doing the Future Skylanders. That was a fucking big hype one, and that's long gone. Does a lot of voice work. He's Pop Fizz. Lilo and Stitch. He was Noisy. Noisy. Leroy and Stitch, sorry. He was in NCSI. Blow. He's Mr. T in Blow. Seems to have done a lot of stuff for Disney. He's in Hercules, Lion King. Simpsons as himself. He was Pain in Hercules. So he's obviously a lot to do. Tales from the Crypt. He was in Beavis and Butthead. Well, it seems just right. Duckman. But yeah, he's definitely fell out of movies. So Freaked, oh, he's Mr. Sock, isn't he? He's Sockhead, which he's brilliant in that. I totally forgot about Freaked until there. Scrooged. Hot to Trot is the one with the horse. Oh, fuck me, he's in Tapeheads. I did not realise that. Tapeheads is mint. So, like literally, I got Tapeheads on big box VHS, but I watched it. It's another John Cusack movie with Tim Robbins, who he's worked a lot with. But that is a great movie if you get to see it. Tapeheads was years after. So yeah, I mean, he was big in the police academies, but then just fell into obscurity, really, with more voice. 38 movies directed. Joyride, which I believe... Let's have a look at Joyride. Dana Grove. He's in a movie called Joyride. Directed Bobcats and Misfits. I mean, a lot of his credits are going to be Anniversary, Community, Willow Creek. There we go. God Bless America. That's one of his. That did really well. World's Greatest Dad. Robin Williams. Or Robin Williams' last movies as well. Jay Chappelle. So he's directed Shakes the Clown as well. So yeah, he's, you know, I mean, he's constantly worked. Totally forgot about Tapeheads, him being in that one. Some great shots here as well. I mean, this is pretty brutally, but we flat out kill somebody here. Let no one know he's inside there. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, nice little creak and a pop there. It's a good shot, mate. You're considering you can't even see it from that point of view, you couldn't see it. I mean, it's kind of lethal, like. I'm gonna check Joel Murray while this movie is rock up until the end of the movie, because he's got to have been in a movie with fucking his brother. He's in God Bless America as Frank. The Artist, Heels. Been quite popular at the moment. So you mean he's working recently, isn't he? Oh, so he's worked with Bobcat Goodworth quite a few times. God, he's been on loads of television. He was the security guard in Ghostbusters the remake, or Answer the Call. I'll probably start recognising him everywhere, as Hoops has just made his amazing shot in there. As we look for 2.5 Men he was in. Hatchet 2. Oh, he was in Ghostbusters the video game as additional voices. Going to creep me way down to 104 films. Fucking hell. They cheat even more. What's this guy? Will fucking nap that getting hit in the side of the fucking head like that. She was in Hatchet 1 as well. Malcolm in the Middle. He was in Buzz Lightyear along with Bobcat Goodworth. He was in The Cable Guy as basketball player. Obviously that's when Jack Black playing basketball. Shakes the Clown, another Bobcat. Scrooged, he's in Scrooged. So at least he's in one film with his brother. Heroic fuck that though. And again, it's a nice little sub-story, yak, you know what I mean? That's a little thing going on with his brother. His father, you know, and his father hears about it. I don't know if he hears about it before it's even happened, when it gets back. Massive shout out to my mum. Because when my chair broke, she offered to get us the chair, then said, oh, don't worry about it, you can have the chair. But now it's creaking. I need to lose some weight, I think. Fucking, and there's the fucking dolphin. It's fucking mental, this bit, man, because like, it's going around, she's driving it, the little kid. And then just the shot of him where he has to go inside its mouth. Again, it's a great fun movie that, revisiting it after all these years. I mean, for years, up until, last week or the week before that, the only way I've ever been able to watch it's on VHS. And, it looks great. I will say this, though, that when me and Britt watched it, it did feel like it was out of time. But then me and Casper and Paul Ray were talking about it, and obviously it's the frame rate. With it being American, should that really matter this day and age with all televisions and shit? Start your engines. Again, just the montage, the music scenes, it's not a bad movie at all. Just lost to obscurity. And all the people who search for it find me just ranting away. I'm only at 74% of that video mastering in the background as well, so again, productive day so far. I mean, this could have gone disastrously wrong. The door, I wonder why Debbie Moore isn't like a part of it. I don't know. You can count how many people are on Todd's boat there. Look the back of the boat up. So there's 4 of them, isn't there? Imagine that one. Fucking a Ferrari built into it. They just go fucking flying past here. See? There's 5 of them in that boat there in that one shot. So, I don't know why Debbie Moore's not part of the end scene. She's not like she's doing anything on the island, is it? Yep, 4 and 5. My car. And that doesn't make any sense. I say, where's the ring? Otis at the front as well. Hey, she's just sitting there cheering. It's not like she's got a... Oh, no. I mean, that scene could have been maybe built up. That's the bit where he chooses her over there and Cookie knows it. I'm not being funny, but there's another black maid there. Like, I'll eat his face. So yeah, we're pretty much near the end of the movie. We've got the wrap up here, the spin off to oh, there's Bosco and all the kids. I've got got puppies. I mean, they're fucking fully grown puppies, like, aren't they? I mean, they're just like packed there. Do you want to be in the movie? Hey, what you did, yak. Yeah, so I think, like, you know, it needs to come out in Blu-ray in the UK. I mean, especially there's a lot of things coming out that I've never even heard of, and like 101's really pushing these cult films and giving them like the double package. 88 films as well. It's been dibble dabbling. They're really giving Arrow a run for its money. I think some of Arrow's releases have been, you know, more broad. Arrow's been going for. They've been getting a lot of, you know, Italian cinema and all that kind of stuff, and it'll all come down to fucking profits and shit like that, and on the label. And this one, like, as a fan, I mean, if you look at how popular the Van Damme stuff's been, 88 films, and they say, right, like, it makes, I mean, I contradict myself a bit there, but like, they say with Van Damme's, it's like, there's only 3,000 copies, and like, you get them in, and like, once them 3,000 copies come in, it comes in without the slipcase and without the inner sleeve, and you think, no, just do 3,000 copies. Like, that's it. A limited run, do you know what I mean? Because if people want them, they'll get them. If you're a big collector, and they'll collect them, do you know what I mean? There we go. Love is Blind. Finally puts the heart on. Bunny Corp. And there's the evil bunny rabbits. Remind me of the Jar Bunny. That's the bomb away. Love is Blind. The kiss in the sunset and the walk off. And boom, away. And it ends with the whole ring, 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 ring. You won? I won? See, that again, directed by, I mean, Savage Steve Holland, like, and written by, you think, like, oh, right, like, is that his over the done credits? But it's not him. He fucking whips it out. Hello. And look, at the end of the day, right, the guy's giving £1 million away, right, on this small fucking island, and he's living in a fucking shed. It's like, alright, 100 grand would be more believable. And the fact that he fires bazooka, I mean, look at him. Yeah, he's on his phone there, and it seems to be a missile coming this way. And then whoop. A great effect, like. But there's that shot from before where you think the shot that just filled in the void. And there you go, the twins are back. I mean, they're so stupid that they're not going to drive any closer than they could and just run with marshmallows. It's a fucking movie, and it's just, you know, joyful. So, Fade to Black, a Warner Brothers presentation. So, this has been my rant about One Crazy Summer. I can finally box it up and put it in the room. It's a great movie. It deserves a UK release once again. I mean, as I say, it's a big box original. as I say, it's been released for years on DVD. But like Cuffs, you know what I mean? They seem to be like video shop classics that have been forgotten, in like going back to the Arrow 88s, the 101s. They're preserving them, but sometimes they're overdoing the market, and like sometimes the releases are so like obscure, you know what I mean? I mean, some people, Story of Rick's been a big one recently, and like I didn't know about it, but that's been a really big seller. So there is a lot of cult things out there. So stuff is coming around. I mean, I've always said Pray the Roller Boys needs to come out. I'll be all over that. I know that this German company that's just done Cuffs and License to Drive, that Billy Bird, that's it from Police Academy, just seeming to be like, you know, these films like have found generations, and people are long to live. Like with the Ski Patrol, you know what I mean? It's like, is that not available? I mean, it's not all on Netflix and Amazon like that. People start to have physical media. Right, the end credits are rolling now. Jeremy Piven co-starred, and Rich Hall as Wimber. Right, thanks for listening to this. Thanks for listening to this podcast. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now.